So it finishes then. Uruguay 3, Colombia 2. Let's just take a look at what that means. In the CONMEBOL table, that 3 points for Uruguay takes them up to second, level on points with Colombia. Everyone chasing, of course, Argentina at the moment. What a great game. And it's interesting, Stevie, you were saying that we're watching these Nations League and it's almost a little bit going through the motions. Last night was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I said it the last time we were doing the CONMEBOL. I love watching these. It's a bit of a throwback. You know, every now and again there is the modern day type game where now and again they'll slow it down and it'll come across one side and then, but that's not all. It's certainly not what we're used to, and just the way they go about it. And I think Colombia is really unfortunate to not get a point here. They deserved a point. Again, I'd be interested to know what Ali thinks about the push at the end. Because
why are you looking at me?
Well, Ali. Well, because at the time I saw it and I thought that's a push, but then I thought about how the game was,
right? And
it was blood and thunder as usual, and there was a lot of challenges, and everybody was just being big and strong, and the referee, I thought, had refereed it really well. So that was the only contention about the last goal, but it was well taken by Ugarte.
Ali, what did you think about?
What did you think?
Yeah, not enough for a foul. And to the point that Stevie's making in terms of the intensity of World Cup qualifiers in CONMEBOL, this was classic, vintage CONMEBOL qualifier, and classic vintage, especially and particularly Uruguay win in a CONMEBOL qualifier. You come to expect from Uruguay a sort of intensity, a tenacity, a character, a temperament, what is called la garra charrúa, and it's well known in South America. Charrúa refers to people indigenous to Uruguay, and la garra, the literal translation is the claw, but in the context of la garra charrúa, it means essentially that, the belief in that tenacity, in that character, in that temperament, that we're going to do everything that is necessary in order to win a game for our country. And this is how Uruguay pulled this out. Uruguay in the first half were being outplayed by Colombia, and the possession of Colombia was better. They were creating opportunities, and Uruguay had difficulties. They needed some help. And when they needed some help, Colombia provided that help. And that's what it takes sometimes in CONMEBOL qualifiers, that it isn't so much about the quality or lack thereof. Can I complete this pass here and there? Can I play this through ball? No. This was Uruguay putting the ball into the box and saying, I'm going to go get it. Somebody's going to win it, and Ugarte smelling it, anticipating it, getting ahead of his defender and saying, I'm going to do whatever is required to win this match. When Uruguay gave up the 2-2 goal, most teams, and a lot of teams, would put their heads down, shoulders down. It's like, we've given out points here.
Right.
Uruguay actually said, no.
There's still time.
There's still time. And that's what I talk about. La garra charrúa is something that it's alive and well in South America. People know it. People recognize it from Uruguay. It has happened historically because it happens time and time again. It showed up again for Uruguay last night.
Next up for Uruguay?
Well, they better show up against Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah. What game that should be.
Yeah. Well, yes. And you remember when we were having the conversation about Marcelo Bielsa after the comments made by Luis Suarez?
Yep.
And where we thought that maybe that could be divisive in this locker room, that maybe this could make a difference in a negative way against Uruguay. But the truth is, you see the performance yesterday against Colombia, and we saw evidence that this team is very much together, that this team is not falling apart, and there is no evidence from what we can see that whatever Luis Suarez, whether it was true or not, whatever Luis Suarez said hasn't had an impact on this team, certainly given the performance that we saw yesterday.
Let's take a look then at those upcoming games in CONMEBOL. As you mentioned, certainly Brazil against Uruguay is the headliner. Elsewhere, though, you've got Bolivia, Paraguay, Colombia against Ecuador, Argentina against Peru, it's Chile against Venezuela.